So we can see things are starting to grow now. The temperatures are coming up. Daylight hours are more. And this is all new growth here. That's the old last year's growth. So this is what? It's only 12 months in the bed here, roughly. The Scheffler Taiwaniana. Look how good that growth is there. There's a good several inches on the stalk as well. This is the Fatsia polycarpa green fingers. The leaves have gotten smaller on the old growth from last year, but you can see the stalk. That's all new stalk, and these are all new leaves. That's a big leaf. It's like the energy is going into the new leaves. Maybe if it was in shade, the leaves would be bigger. Looking really healthy. Melianthus is starting to come back on now. You can see all the old dead stuff from winter. It's starting to push out these new green leaves. Here's a plant I added to this bed. I don't think I caught this in it's the hydrangea quercifolia burgundy. I just like it for the serrated palmate leaves, different colours. Bananas are starting to push through the leaves. This is not doing too good, this Paulownia here. This one is thriving. Actually, I think I can see why. Aha! Look, it's completely snapped. I went around here with the strimmer. So what we have is this here. That's all we have. And this. But these will bounce back. So this is going to be starting again. I should shoot up anyway. Right, so be careful with your streamers. This is what it should have looked like. New leaves pushing through. The biggest growths on the plants I've seen are the grasses. Nothing starts growing quicker than the grasses, the pampas, the miscanthus. That's another miscanthus there. No, sorry, pampas. And here's the Musa sycamensis. New leaf coming out. And off the pup here. This is dried up. Just some of the roots are exposed there. I've kind of have it sitting up proud. Try and get that root area around here not to be sitting in a sump come winter. See how it gets on here. This is the Ashii Magnolia Macrophylla ashii. It's thrown out its first leaves. Smaller buds here coming out. All the other plants, bananas, or not bananas, bamboo, paulownia, the couple of tetrapanics, 2 different types, they're all doing well. And I'll be putting in bark mulch now to surround these plants and small trees and stuff, protect them from the weeds. So this is what I'm putting down today. So you can see the broadleaf woodland across the road from the house, and a lot of trees, their seeds germinate on the margins on the roadside, and these cause problems because they can grow up into the electric wires and the cables that are supplying the electricity and such. And I've seen these are sweet chestnut as far as I know, and I've tried to sow the seed from the sweet chestnut along with the acorns, and I haven't been successful. So I know every year all the marginal trees, they're all cut down under the wires. And I said I'd get down and dig these up, and hopefully there's enough root. There's plenty of root on this one. Hopefully I have enough roots on this for them to kick off. And I'll put 1 in the chicken pen and then 2 down in the wood. Right, so here's the first one, and the soil was easy to turn over. It's going to be fairly close to the hedge line here. It's going to have to fight and push its way up. So I've kind of created a little shallow bowl here, so it'll collect plenty of water, because these other 2 I'm going to plant in the wood where I planted Scots pine, and they were really healthy, good Scots pine, about 1.5 foot tall, but they died, and I think it was because of it was my fault. I didn't keep going back watering them, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on these. Right, I'm going to have to give them the full watering can there. Was it 10 litres? Hopefully the roots will take all that up. Right, I'm going to plant up these other 2. Hopefully they'll survive. Got a sycamore here growing beside it. And there's a lot of trees, oak and sycamore now are self-seeding. What I'm planning on doing, I'm going to be trimming all the dead stuff off the ends here and opening up the canopy. A lot of dead stuff on this tree here. It's a dead tree, I think. Yeah, that's the way nature works. That was either a Japanese or a European larch, and it obviously wasn't able to compete with these other trees. So that's going to open the space up. And a lot of the bramble as well. That's all bramble. I'm going to take that out. I might leave some in. We have ferns here. They just pop up wherever they want now. So the hole's done for these. You can see there's so much leaf matter and barks and twigs and everything. It's really fertile. Lovely soil. Hopefully they'll kick off. Sweet chestnuts, I don't have any in here. Beside the ferns. So I used to keep pigs with goats, geese, ducks, chickens. They were all running around down here, mucking around and ploughing up the ground. And we had donkeys from the donkey sanctuary before, but they actually turned out to be wicked, so we got rid of them. And because the ground is on a slope, so the house is up here and the ground just comes down here. I say there's a lot of nutrient, and rainfall just comes down here, down into the end. So it's very fertile ground. All these trees were just 1 foot slips that most of them I bought from Future Forests in West Cork, and they just put them into the ground during the autumn, winter time. They just exploded in a couple of years. They were starting to block out the light. Right, so that's them planted. I've watered them in now, but you can see the way they're all, it's flat. It's going out like a shrub or a bush. They're not tall and slender coming off one stem. It's because they were repeatedly getting chopped at the top because they weren't being allowed to grow. So hopefully they'll take off here now. I'll give them plenty of water. Just an acacia I put down, and the leaves are the exact same as they were when I put it in last summer, or whenever I put it in springtime, last spring, and it took zero damage from any of the winter. I think it's because it's under this oak here. So you can see the way these trees are just self-seeding, and they get really large leaves because I think it needs to compete for the light. So it naturally starts to produce broad leaf. Just see if I can. Really big leaves. There's an oak here. I don't remember planting this, but it's just one single column going up. A funny growth habit. This is another dead larch. They're a beautiful tree, the larch, the Japanese and European larch, but they're a soft tree. Scots pine. So you can see like that Scots pine there is a couple of feet easily, but it just didn't survive here. So this is hazel, and I didn't plant this either. Now I brought in cob nuts, hazels, years ago as bare roots, and I put them down, so obviously some way these are spreading anyway. It's from birds or animals or something. get the full 10 litres into this tree as well. Right, so that's the sweet chestnuts.